Yeah, okay.
Hi, thank you. I very much enjoyed the film. I was talking at the end with my friend. We couldn't understand the Indian man, the metaphor.
I know this will be the first question.
We're intrigued. It's not bad. We're just
Wherever
curious.
I go, this will be the question. I don't know him myself. I don't know. I can't be sure. Now, for instance, after he's being attacked, now he might have a concussion, and what he's seeing is another, dark-skinned guy. So that may not be really the Indian guy he met in a cafe, during Kibobo's first appearance. And but maybe he's really a CID. I don't know. I don't have an answer. I'm sorry. But I think it's sort of cute and mysterious because in real life, I mean, it happens to me personally. Sometimes I think there's a collision of orbits. I mean, it occurs in different ways. Sometimes you met your dream girl. Sometimes you met a guy you have no interest in, or it doesn't really matters in your life. But you keep bumping into him when you went to a movie or go to eat somewhere, or even when you are in a rush, in a hurry. So you began to recognize his face for no reason at all. I'm sorry to disappoint you. He really is, such a guy. So it's just one question.
Well, what is this thing about Hennessy Road in Hong Kong and why?
Have you ever been to Hong Kong?
Yeah, but not familiar.
No, Hennessy Road is not the prettiest street in Hong Kong. It's just a very ordinary. Now, Hennessy is named after one of our British governors. He was in Hong Kong maybe more than 100 years ago. And how our streets are named, as maybe it happens in Singapore too. So we name all our streets, especially the older parts of Hong Kong, after very senior government officials. And Hennessy is one of the governors. And he is the thoroughfare of Wan Chai. Wan Chai is stuck between Central and Causeway Bay. A lot of people would know Causeway better because it's where you go, you do your shopping. And so it's, in the middle. Is a very sort of nondescript, is slightly nondescript as compared with Central and Causeway Bay. But Wan Chai now is undergoing a big change in the sense that, the reclaimed area in the north on the waterfront is quite new, where you find the Convention and Exhibition Center, and also the Grand Hyatt Hotel that is very new and very opulent, and, very upmarket. But the south part of Wan Chai is all a very mixed district with old houses, with little shops, ordinary people, and the tram passes through. And Hennessy Road seems to cut the two parts of Wan Chai into two. So it's in a way, not exactly metaphorical, but in a way, it sort of suits the purpose in this, because this movie, what I have intended is not just to tell a love story. It also talks about relationship. Loy's relationship with mom, with the auntie, with everybody, and the role played by Tang Wei is, she's just a member of Loy's world. So. I just thought, this is a more commercial name, because originally the film was not. This is not the original name of the movie. It's called Gan Fa Yun, Jian Hua Yuan. Now this is not original. It's a classical Chinese literature. But whenever I cannot come up with a name, I would name my script 剑花缘，因为我觉得爱情就像镜花水月。But then this is not going to be the name for a commercial film. That's why the boss come up with a better one. And here you go. Huh? Actually, the English name came first, Crossing Hennessy. Well, that's a film some 20 years ago called Causing Delancey. I remember that film. It's not that I like the film a lot, but Crossing Hennessy seems to fit to suit the purpose in my point of view.
Hi, I know that Crossing Hennessy is our second movie that we directed, previously which you directed Claustrophobia. So for your profession as a scriptwriter to a director, what are some of the challenges that you face? And also, how did you try to convey your ideas to Jackie, Tang Wei, Cheeky Ching, and Danny? Jackie Chong, Tang Wei, Bao Qijing, and Danny Lee.
Oh, okay. I have to tell Jackie the story first because he was the first who came on board, and it's a big challenge to answer the first part of your question, because in the past, I was still just a writer. I'm not really welcome to visit the shoot because I think my presence would threaten the director. So I know I'm not a welcome person. So I try not to go and see. And actually, ironically, my first job is as a production assistant with TVB some 35 years ago. And I don't think I like the job a lot. And I cannot imagine, 35 years later, or something like that, I will become a director myself. It's really a plot twist. I don't know, I have a lot to learn. I have yet a lot to pick up. And I have, of course, some very able assistants, a very able person like my editor, like my first AD. They all gave me a tremendous help. And but one thing that I have a big confidence in is I know how to talk to actors. I know how to tell them what I expect from them. I know the storyline thoroughly because I wrote the damn thing myself. So there's no difficulty in trying to explain to them what I have in mind, what exactly I want them to convey through this and that line, and what is the significance in doing this or that kind of thing. So there shouldn't be any difficulty at all. In fact, while I was still writing, while I was writing for other directors, I really missed the opportunity to speak to the actors myself because I was never given. Most directors in Hong Kong, they're not interested to go over the details with the writer because they don't want to be influenced. They just take the script and interpret it their way. They don't want. I think they consider that interference. So sometimes it's just silly mistakes. Sometimes if there's a typo there, he misread it, and then it came out wrong, which is ridiculous. So it's not a matter of interpretation. Believe me, sometimes it's just a typo, and I'm not given the opportunity to explain and to correct the typo, which is really very saddening. So my whole point in becoming a director is one thing among them is to avoid such mistake be repeated again. And also, I think it's now or never, because I've turned 50. So if I do not become a director, I may as well forget about it. So I'm still learning, and I'm happy to be still learning at such senior age, and that gives me a lot to go on. Really, I appreciated the opportunity to learn so that I can postpone my Alzheimer a little. Well, I believe in learning. Learning is the best way to keep it out for a while.
Thank you.
So what is it like working with actors like Jackie Chung and Tang Wei, who have obviously a background in music, and the other one with a background in a very acclaimed show, Last Caution, just before this? Was there any sort of baggage in bringing that background into this, or did you just interpret the story you wanted to tell?
If there is a baggage, I didn't see it. Now, with Jackie, it's easy, because I knew Jackie from July Rhapsody. It's 7 years ago, or some of you may not have seen it. Jackie was terrific in it. I was really grateful. And I got a couple of awards out of July Rhapsody. And I think it's all because of his brilliant